Once again, we'll start again with the marginal utility, total utility, right? We have seen the last lecture, the difference between the MU, TU, right? So now we can see what is the relationship between the TU and MU, right? So these are the important terms you can keep in mind forever, right? See, when TU increases with an increase in consumption of commodity as long as MU is positive, right? When TU increasing, right? And consumption of commodity as long as MU is positive. So everything was positive, right? That is in this phase, fourth ice cream, in this phase, till fourth phase only, not after that. After this, it was the positive, right? Now in this phase, TU increases but diminishing rate as MU from the each successive unit tends to diminish, right? Now, when TU reaches its maximum, when TU reaches its maximum, right? MU becomes 0. So MU becomes 0, right? That is when the fifth ice cream is consumed, right? This is known as a point of satiety, right? This point is called a satiety, right? Satiety. Now TU curve stops rising at this stage. Now TU curve, it is stopping over here to rising stage, right? Now then another situation, when consumption is increased beyond the point of satiety, when you consume beyond that satiety, then TU starts falling as MU becomes. So your TU will becomes negative. TU becomes negative, right? After the satiety level. So this is the relationship between the TU and MU. This is the most important terms from the point of examination. Most of the time, it will be asking the examination like that. What is the relationship between the TU and MU? So in this case, you can write down, these 3 points only, right? Now we'll start with the law of diminishing marginal utility. So what is the meaning of law of diminishing marginal utility? Diminishing, it means what? Reducing. But why? What marginal utility? Right? So law of diminishing marginal utility states that as we consume more and more units of commodity, the utility derived from each successive unit goes on decreasing. You can take a simple example. When you consume, right, more units, more units, more units, more units, right? And after that, it goes to the decreasing level. It goes to the decreasing level. When we talk about the diminishing marginal utility, so we can write down law of diminishing marginal utility state that as we consume more and more units, when you are consuming more and more ice creams, right, at the satiety level, right, at the satiety level, it becomes negative, it becomes zero, and after that it becomes negative, right? Now in making choices, most people spread their income over different kinds of goods. If you talk about the people, every people is their choices is different. They are not spending on particular goods. They are trying to spend on different kinds of commodities and the goods, and they're they're expecting more satisfaction from that goods also, right? Now people prefer a variety of goods because consuming more and more of any good reduces the marginal satisfaction derived from the further consumption with the same goods. See, if we are consuming same goods maximum, but after certain point of time, your utility becomes zero. So that is why most of the people, they are trying to choose different kinds of goods and commodities, which will their utility it will not become a zero. Right? Suppose today if you consume ice cream, tomorrow you will not be repeat the ice cream. What you will do tomorrow? You will try to cold coffee. Day after tomorrow, what you will try? You will try to consume, hot coffee, either any ice cream, either chocolate. It means what? You are trying to spread your income in the buying of different commodities rather than same commodity. Because as you know, if you consume same goods, if you consume same goods for the maximum times, after certain level, your satisfaction will be finished. So this thing is happening in the law. So that is why this law expresses an important relationship between utility and quantity consumed of commodity. We have seen already what is the meaning of utility. Utility it means
Yeah.
what? The maximum satisfaction you'll get from the
Satisfaction.
right.
Goods or
Let us
service.
yes. Let us understand the law with the help of the example. Let's see. See the law of diminishing marginal utility has universal applicable and applies to all goods and services. You cannot say it is applicable only, eating only. It is applicable everything everywhere because it is applicable and accepted universal level. So it was first given by the German economist Gossen, which is why it is also known as Gossen's first law of consumption. Why? Because of the reason after certain level, every person their satisfaction level will be finished, and after that he will not prefer to consume that commodity or the goods once again. Right? Now then see some example as given in this case. See, suppose your father has just come from work and you offer him a glass of juice. Right? The first glass of juice will give him great satisfaction. Right? Now the satisfaction with the second glass of juice will be relatively less, as you know. Right? You know, first glass of juice it will be giving more satisfaction rather than second glass of juice. Now with the further consumption, a stage will come when he would not need any more glass of juice. Right? After second, after third, then he will not like it the glass of juice. When the marginality drops to zero, right? When will be your marginal utility will be zero? When your satisfaction level will be finished, right? When your satisfaction level finished, then your utility will become zero. So after that point, if it is forced to consume even more one more glass of juice, it will be you know disutility. After that, your father, our father will not be ready to consume another glass of juice because it their level will be finished at this level. One glass of juice is has given more satisfaction rather than others, and once their utilities is finished, then automatically M will become zero. Right? So such a decrease in satisfaction in the consumption of successive unit occurs due to law of diminishing marginal utility. When you are consuming more again and again same unit, then automatically after certain satisfaction level, your utility will become zero. And after that, it becomes completely disutility. Your utility it becomes completely negative, not zero. After the zero, it becomes negative. Right? Like that you can say simply simple में बोल सकते कि भाई I'm irritating from that juice. because I had consumed already 4 to 5 glass. But right this moment, I am completely irritating about hurting of any word of the juice. So this kind of feeling we are feeling, right? After the consuming of more glass of juice, right? Now, some assumption is given related to the marginal, diminishing utility. See, the MU is not applicable everywhere. Again, after the study of assumptions, we'll understood it is not applicable. Either you can say few things are exceptional. Suppose if you like to read, you know, uh, read newspapers, right? If you like to read newspapers, suppose your dad has given to you time to better you can read newspaper. So whenever you are reading newspaper for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, then in this case MU is not applicable because you like it that reading of newspaper. Reading of more and more, you'll get more and more satisfaction again,
Yeah.
right? So it is not applicable for everyone. That is why some assumption is given, some assumptions related given to the diminishing of marginal utility, that is called as law of marginal diminishing marginal utility. Right? Let's see one by one. First of all, first of all, what is the meaning of cardinal measurement of utility? See, it is assumed that it is assumed that utility can be measured and consumer can express his satisfaction in quantitative terms such as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers like that. As I told you already, we can measure our satisfaction level with the giving of numbers out of 5, 10, 20, whatever you would like. Not mandatory, only 5 is applicable, only 10 is applicable. So, monetary measurement of utility. It is assumed that utility is measurable in monetary terms also. Third one is assumptions. Consumption of reasonable quantity. It is assumed that a reasonable quantity of the commodity is consumed. Example, we should compare the MU of glass full of water and not a spoonful of water. We cannot compare. Where is glass full and where is spoonful?
Yeah.
Quantity should be reasonable, right? Then, if a thirsty person is given water in spoon, then every additional spoon will yield him more utility. I am very, very thirsty right now. But if you are offering me, sir, you can take it 1 spoon of water, I'll give you. Whenever you are giving more and more spoon to me, full, with the water, then I'll get more satisfaction, more satisfaction, more satisfaction. Why? Because I'm not getting, reasonable quantity. Right? So this is also another law. So hold the law true, suitable and proper quantity and commodity should be consumed. Proper quantity, right, as well as proper commodity should be consumed. Then you will get satisfaction. Otherwise, you will get more, 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 more. Either if you want more, more, more. Right? Then continuous consumption. It is assumed that consumption is continuous process. See, consumption is a continuous process. Example, one ice cream is consumed in the morning, another in the evening. Your satisfaction level will be remain same. But if you are consuming continuously, simultaneously, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then in this case, MU becomes 0. But if you are consuming same ice cream in the early in the morning and late in the morning, for evening, so you cannot compare in this scenario. Then no change in quality. Quality of the commodity consumed is assumed to be uniform. A second cup of ice cream with nuts topping may give more satisfaction from the first one. because if the ice cream was without nuts or toppings, different. If you would like to know flavor, different flavors. Like, when you are consuming different flavors, then automatically you would like it more and more and more. Right? Same thing. A rational consumer. The consumer is assumed to be rational who measures, calculates, and compares the utilities of different commodities and aims to maximize total satisfaction. See, consumer is assumed to be rational. Why? Who measures the calculate, compares, and utility. Sometimes few consumers are, whenever they are consuming, they compare with the others also. Comparing with the other things, comparing with the other goods also, comparing with the commodities also. Right? Then independent utility. It is assumed that the commodity consumed by consumer are independent. It's a totally independent. Whatever you are consuming, any commodity other goods, it will be separate, completely independent. Right? Let's see. It means MU of one commodity has no relation with the MU of another commodity. Because when you consume first ice cream and when you consume second ice cream, there is no relation because first ice cream was different, second ice cream was different. Right? Both are independent and both utilities are different. Both utilities are different. First, first scoop of ice cream, it was in the flavor of coconut. And when you are consuming second time with the flavor of strawberry, so both are different, right? So MU of money remains constant. As the consumer spends money on the commodity, here the C is left with less money to spend on other commodities. In this process, remaining money becomes dearer to the consumer and it increases of MU. Suppose sometimes you like it dairy milk, sometimes other you like it ice cream. What you will do is sometimes first of all you will consume less. You will spend less amount on the consuming of dairy milk, but you will try to prefer more money on the consuming of ice cream, right? So in this case, both MU is neutral, both MU is same because you are not consumed more than expectation, right? So your utility will be the remain same in this situation also. Now fixed income and prices. It is assumed that income of the consumer and prices of the goods which the consumer wishes to purchase remain constant. See, if I like it, I'll buy it, but there is having some limitations of income level, right? So what I'll do according to my income level, I'll consume fixed quantity. So that quantity as a commodity is not, it is not becoming a disutility because I am consuming only limited goods only. When you are consuming limited goods, then your utility will be remain same. It will not be changed forever, right? Now, perfect knowledge. It is assumed that consumer knows the different goods on which his income can be spent and utility that he likely to get out of such consumption. It means the consumer has perfect knowledge of the various choices available to him. Before the consuming of ice cream, you can compare how many types of ice cream is available in the market. Right? So after that, as well as you can see which is the cheapest compared to the others. Every consumer they wants to spend less and get more satisfaction from the commodity. No one is in this world want to spend more and to get a less satisfaction. Yes. So these are the assumptions is not applicable for everyone everywhere. Right? So I hope you understood up to this again.
Yeah.
So I hope it will be enough for today. Yes or no?
Yeah.
You say?
Sorry.
So क्या लेना है और बोलो क्या करना है.
Sir, will tomorrow be possible? I'm not going to school tomorrow, so I'm free in
What
the
time?
morning as well if you are.
What time?
Anytime works. I'm not going to school tomorrow to prepare.
I'll just a minute. Okay, no worry. Just give me 1 minute because I'll stop the
Okay.
video.